I think it's important that everyone understand that North Korea does not define the relationship with China. Our relationship with China obviously is much broader. And if you go back to the summit in Mar-a-Lago between President Trump and President Xi, much of that summit was a discussion about what should the relationship between the U.S. and China be. It has been defined since the opening of China with the historic Nixon visit, the adoption of the One China policy, the three documents and agreements, and that has given us a long period of no conflict between China and the U.S., creating conditions for enormous economic growth and prosperity in China, which the U.S. and the rest of the world has seen benefits from as well. That has defined the last 40 to 50 years of our relationship. The question now is that we believe we're at a bit of a pivot point in that relationship because of how China has progressed now to become the second largest economy in the world, and they will continue to grow in their importance to the global economy. What should define this relationship for the next 50 years? And those are the discussions that we have with the Chinese in the broadest contours. How should we define this relationship, and how do we ensure that economic prosperity to the benefit of both countries in the world can continue, and that where we have differences, because we will have differences, we do have differences, that we will deal with those differences in a way that does not lead to open conflict. And that has been the success of the past policy. It's one that we must continue, but we recognize conditions have changed, and to simply rely upon the past may not serve either one of us well. So these are very in-depth conversations and discussions we have with the Chinese, and we test this relationship through things like the situation in North Korea. Can we work together to address this global threat where we have a common objective, and where we have differences in the South China Sea and we have some trading differences that need to be addressed? Can we work through those differences in a way without it leading to open conflict and find the solutions that are necessary to serve us both? Out of Mar-a-Lago came, I think, some very important commitments to one another. We established 4 very high-level dialogues. We had many, many dialogues with the Chinese in the past, over 20 dialogues, but these were at a level that we felt were insufficient to deal with this question of our relationship. So the Chinese agreed to designate very high-level individuals. So we have 4 dialogues. The diplomatic and security dialogue is led by myself and Secretary Mattis with our counterparts in China. We have had 2 meetings of the diplomatic and security dialogue. The economic and trade dialogue has met twice. That's led by Secretary Mnuchin and Secretary Ross. We have 2 other dialogues that are yet to meet, law enforcement and cybersecurity, and then social or people to people. And so these are really to help us explore the tough issues that exist for the 2 largest economies in the world and 2 significant military powers, as to how do we want to deal with these issues. And they've served, I think they've served us well to this point, and they've been quite helpful in us advancing this understanding of one another's interest. So we will continue those. And again, I want to thank Assistant Secretary Susan Thornton for her help in advancing these.